Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make is a cake. But we're going to make a half a sheet cake, which is 12 by 18. And it is 2 inches tall, because many times you do write and ask how tall it is. So like I said, 12 by 18 by 2. You'll want to heavily grease it and dust it with flour, or use your parchment paper. Now, if you're looking for sheet cakes, this actually makes number 18 that I have on my channel, Diane Lovetobake. 18. So I have every kind that you can think of. I have German chocolate, I have devil's food, red velvet, traditional chocolate, white, lemon, vanilla, and many more. But this is my 18th half sheet video, and it really started with somebody writing to me and saying, would I make, or do I have a recipe for a half a sheet cake of oatmeal cake? So I saw that and it intrigued me, and this is the recipe that I'm putting on today. So it's a half sheet oatmeal cake, and I traditionally actually dust it with just powdered sugar, but you can make any kind of frosting you want. In fact, there's a really good frosting with coconut goes over this cake. Absolutely delicious. And I do have several frostings and icings on my channel, so if you're looking for something to ice this cake with or frost it, please check out my other videos. Now, I will not be putting the ingredients below the video anymore. I'm sorry, I don't do that anymore, but I'll go through the recipe slowly and hopefully clearly enough for you that if you're jotting it down on paper, you're going to be able to get this recipe, okay? So, the first thing that you'll want to do, and by the way, what I like about these sheet cakes, they are so perfect for any occasion, especially for parties. What you're going to need is 3 3/4 cups of hot water or boiling water. I actually just heat my water in a microwave safe bowl. And then what you're going to put inside of it is 3 cups of oatmeal. Okay, 3 cups to your 3 3/4 cups of very hot to boiling water. And then just put your oats in there, give it a good stir, okay, and let it set. Let it set for 15, 20 minutes if you're, you're not impatient like I am. I tend to want to get things going and moving along, just so that the water absorbs in the oatmeal. So it softens it basically and kind of cooks it really. Now, if you do have excess liquid in it, keep it in. Don't drain it. Okay, don't think that you've done something wrong. So don't drain it. And I'm just going to put that all into my mixing bowl. Okay. And I'm a little bit awkward due to my cast on my hand here, so bear with me. Okay, so I've got that in my mixing bowl. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to need 3 sticks of butter. Now, I've made this recipe with margarine, and it comes out very good too. I prefer butter, but I went ahead and took 3 sticks of butter. I cut it up into small pieces because I think it's easier to cream and blend and beat it together. And I've had it at room temperature. So I'm going to start putting that in this mixture. And I'm going to turn on the mixer. Now I'm going to warn you about the sound of the mixer being loud. if you prefer to take your butter and cream your sugars together and all that, feel free, but this is how I put it together, okay? The next thing that you're going to be putting in is granulated sugar. You will need 3 cups of granulated sugar. So I'm going to start to beat that in, a little at a time. Okay, the next thing that you're going to be putting in is 3 cups of brown sugar. And I'm going to start putting that in. Now, you're also going to be putting in vanilla. So you will need 3 teaspoons of vanilla, and beat that in. You also will be using a half a dozen, 6 eggs at room temperature, and I'm going to try to beat 1 in at a time. Whoop, 2 fell in. And another 2 happened to fall in. That's number 5. And here is number 6. Okay, and then just make sure that everything is beaten well together, and then let's work on our dry ingredients that we're going to put in, okay? I want to just grab my little hand whisk here. You're going to need, in all-purpose flour, 4 cups of flour. You're also going to be putting in 3 teaspoons of baking soda. That was 3 teaspoons. You're also going to be putting in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So 3 soda, 3 powder. You're also going to be putting in cinnamon. So you need 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you're going to be using 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then just with my little whisk here, I'm just gonna, give it a little bit of a stir together. And then I'm just gonna slowly add the dry with the wet. And you want to thoroughly beat it, and you might beat it for 2 or 3 minutes. I try not to overbeat it, but you do want to mix it well. And I'm going to start on low so the flour doesn't go all over the kitchen. And we'll put just a little in at a time. What's nice about this cake is when you're baking it, oh my gosh, the whole kitchen smells so good. You can smell the oatmeal and the cinnamon. Oh, what a fragrant baking cake. And I'm just going to raise my speed a little bit, so I'm going to warn you about the sound. to just put the towel on in case it's gonna splash. Again, it's not gonna go all over me and the kitchen and everything else. You don't have to really overbeat this, just make sure that everything's combined. So I'm gonna grab my spatula here, work the sides of my bowl a little bit and try to get to the bottom a little bit. And I think I'm going to turn it on just for another little bit, so warn you about the sound. Okay, I think that should do it. I'm just going to take my paddle out here, take off the excess. Now the batter will seem quite liquidy, you know, so don't think you've done, you know, something wrong or whatever. We're so used to very thick batters generally with cakes. And let me see, this is a heavy bowl, especially with one hand. Okay, and I'm going to show you the consistency. I hope that you'll be able to see it. I hope that the camera and I'm at the right angle here. If not, I apologize. But you can get an idea. It's quite silky. It is, like I said, more of a light or liquidy batter. Oh, smells so good. Okay, and I'm just going to lift that in there and get it all out into my pan, go from edge to edge and try to even it out. Now you're going to bake this cake at 325 degrees, and it can come up anywhere from 45 to even 50 minutes. I'll say 55, I'm sorry. 45 to 55. It really depends on your oven, and as you know, all our ovens set up so differently. I actually start checking mine at 40 minutes just to play it safe, you know. I try not to go in and peek on it too much, but I don't want to overbake this cake to dry it, because you really want that moisture, because it's a moist, delicate cake. Okay, I'm going to rinse my hands quickly here. And grab a towel to dry them. A clean towel. And I want to show you what it looks like once it's baked up. And this is how it turns out. I went ahead and just dusted it with some powdered sugar. Okay. And it will come up a nice medium brown, like almost a medium brown. It will have it's not a real crispy hard top or crust. And I'm gonna just cut into it to show you, okay, what the crumb looks like. Now let me try this end. I think this is a little bit warm yet, so let me grab a plate to plate it so I can show you. Okay, I hope that you can see that. Well, let me lift it. It's a beautiful crumb on it. When you press down on it, I don't know if you can see how moist and how delicate it is. Oh gosh. And let me grab a fork. I just want to break apart some of the crumb for you so you can get an idea how light and moist. When I press down on the cake, you can see, oh, it's so delicious. What a great tasting cake. And as I said, mine's a little bit, little tiny bit warm there. So I hope that you got to see it. But it makes for a delightful cake. It will have some weight to it in this pan. It's not a lightweight cake, but it's not heavily dense either. It really is, oh, what a great tasting cake, with or without frosting. Like I said, in my house, they all like it just with the powdered sugar on top. But it is delicious with an icing or a frosting. So there you have it. I hope you give this oatmeal half sheet cake a try, especially if you need a cake for a graduation, a birthday, bridal, baby shower, church social, that kind of thing. It is a great tasting cake, and it's relatively easy to make. It really does. I think the longest and the most patient it takes is, boiling that water, getting that water hot, and putting your oatmeal in it and let it, wait that 15 or 20 minutes and stir it. That's about the hardest part of making this cake. Otherwise, it's worth your time. It's worth the effort. It really is. And again, if you're looking for other type of flavors, please check out my channel. This is number 18, and I've got probably a lot more to go, especially when people write to me and give me great suggestions as this one. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. My videos are only shown on YouTube, and that goes for a very quick statement. I no longer put the recipe below because so many people, and I'm not alone, that's for sure, they take your work, they post it, they pin it, they claim it as theirs, and what started, it's so frustrating to see your questions, to see your comments where my work is somewhere else and I can't answer. Very frustrating. So please watch me on YouTube. If you have a question, you have a comment, I will try to answer them in a very timely fashion. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I can't thank you enough. Or even give the video a like. I really would appreciate it and send you many thanks. So thanks for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.